What do you want for Christmas? What do you really want? The holiday season has a way of stirring up self-reflection in all of us. At Thanksgiving, we reflect. At Christmas, we make requests. And at New Year's, we reset. Reflect, request, reset. It's a rhythm baked into the human experience from the beginning of time. If you read the Psalms, you'll see these same movements, especially reflection and resetting. They show up in expressions that essentially say, "Bless the Lord, He's been good." Or, "Lord, change me, create in me a clean heart." Now today, when we feel that something is missing in our lives, our requests often fall into predictable categories: cars, careers, collectibles, companionship. But in the Psalms, when someone asks for what is lacking, it's almost never something physical or material. You don't see them begging for wealth or possessions. And that's significant because many of the psalmists were wealthy by ancient standards. I mean, David himself was a king. Yet when they take inventory of their lives, the thing they diagnose as missing is not stuff, it's not success, it's not status, it's the Lord Himself. Take Psalm 37:4, for example. "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." If you glance at the notation at the top of your psalm, you'll see that this is written by King David. David is the king, the warrior, the poet, a man who lacked very little in earthly goods, but he was the one who wrote, "Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart." So what could he have possibly meant by that? I can still remember the ad campaign. It was 1995. I was turning 16 that summer. The year before, Ford had released a new model of their classic sports car, the Ford Mustang, the Ford version of the Chevy Camaro that you see here. This design in 1995 was sleeker and slicker than the previous model. The previous model, known as the Fox body design, dated back to the 1970s, and the 1994 redesign, the fourth generation Mustang as it was known, brought the car roaring back into the American consciousness. Ford introduced it with a campaign comparing the new Mustang to the classics from the 1960s with the tagline, "It is what it was and more." And from that moment, I knew exactly what I wanted for my 16th birthday. I had my sights locked on that Mustang. Every time I saw one, I practically salivated. I made sure to drop very obvious hints to my mom about what I wanted when I turned 16. The week I turned 16, I was away on a mission trip with my church, serving the Lord, delighting myself in the Lord, you might say. And the 1995 Mustang, well, it was the desire of my heart. We'll come back to the car in a moment, but let's focus on that idea a little bit more, the desire of our heart, from today's psalm. The fatal flaw in how we try to understand Psalm 37:4 is we often read it in isolation. We interpret the verse without holding Psalm 37:3 beside it, or the whole psalm, or even the broader movement of the whole book of Psalms itself. But when we widen the scope, what this verse is communicating becomes much clearer to us. Let's look at verses 3 and 4 together. Verse 3 says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Take delight in the Lord," verse 4 says, "and He will give you the desires of your heart." This poetic method is called parallelism. It's where two lines that essentially say the same thing work to define each other. So let's look at this together. Take delight in the Lord is parallel to the idea of trusting the Lord and doing good. And He will give you the desires of your heart is parallel to dwelling in the land and enjoying safe pasture. The verse interprets itself. How do you delight in the Lord? By trusting Him and doing good. And what are the desires of your heart? Well, according to the parallel line, it is to dwell in the land. If we keep reading the psalm, this theme becomes impossible to miss. The land appears 7 times, and that's not a coincidence. David is emphasizing something for us here. So what is the desire of your heart? According to this psalm, it is the land. But what exactly is represented by this term, the land? In a few minutes, we'll be back to talk about just that.
God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of light. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I. God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. For once you have spoken, all nature and science follow the sound of your voice. And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you said. If it all reveals your nature, so will I can see your heart in everything you say. Every painted sky, a canvas of your grace. If creation still obeys you, so will I. So will I. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. If the mountains bow in reverence, so will I. If the oceans roar your greatness, so will I. For if everything exists to lift you high, so will I. If the wind goes where you send it, so will I. If the rocks cry my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill you created, the light of the world, abandoned in darkness to die. And as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. Where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind you, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you've done. Every part designed in a work of art called love. If you gladly chose surrender, so will I. I can see your heart 8 billion different ways. Every precious one, a child you died to save. If you gave your life to love them, so will I. Like you would again 100 billion times. But what measure could amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind.
So the week I turned 16, I had been away on a mission trip with my church. And yes, the 1995 Mustang was the desire of my heart. But when I got home that week, as you might imagine, there was no 1995 Mustang waiting for me in the driveway. There was a car, though. But instead of a 95 Mustang, there sat a 1977 mustard yellow Chevrolet. We're going the wrong direction here. Caprice Classic. And my dad was in the middle of sanding it down and repainting it white. In 1995, do you know who drove white 1970s era Chevy Caprice Classics? In the Ford version, the Crown Victoria? There were two groups, driver's ed students and cops. So picture me rolling up to school, not in a sleek and slick new Mustang, but in a 1977 Chevrolet Caprice Classic. I'd pull into the parking lot, and my friends would greet me with one of two reactions. One, why'd you bring your driver's ed car to school? Or two, I'd walk into a room or to class somewhere and hear someone call me a narc. What do you want for Christmas? What do you really want? So when I was 16, I didn't get the desire of my heart. But let's get back to this idea in Psalm 37. What is the desire of your heart? According to this psalm, it's the land. But again, what does the land represent? When we read the whole psalm, it becomes clear that David is not talking about material things. He's warning us again and again about the danger of letting our desires fixate on physical, tangible stuff. Throughout this whole psalm, the wicked are the ones who chase after those things as if they can satisfy. David isn't saying it's wrong to have or to enjoy things. He's not anti-cars, careers, collections, or companionship. David was a king. He had plenty of all of that. His warning isn't about having things. It's about hinging your heart on things that can perish, about making things the thing. This psalm keeps circling back to the land. But the land itself isn't the point. David isn't longing for acres of dirt. He wants what the land symbolizes: peace, security, belonging, recognition, love. That's what I really want. That's what you really want. One of life's pleasures for me is throwing something on the grill and letting it slow cook for hours upon hours. And when you step away to run an errand or to go to the store and you return home, it's the aroma that hits you. Your mouth begins to water, your stomach grumbles because it's empty. You know something good is coming. It just needs more time. But I don't want what the food smells like. I want the food. Our desires can be like that. Sometimes they're aromas, things that stir longings, pointing us to something deeper. Sometimes they're aches, the pains of what's missing, of what we need or what's been lost. And sometimes they're appetizers, good things, but still only promises of something greater to come. We weren't made just for the aromas, the aches, or the appetizers. We were made for the meal. And if we settle for those other things, we run the risk of missing the feast that is coming. And there is a feast that is coming. The land. Peace, security, recognition, love. You know what I really wanted with that 1995 Mustang? I didn't want the Mustang. I wanted recognition. People to know who I was and be jealous of what I had. People that loved me for it. We all want peace, security, recognition, and love. And deep down, we know that we won't get them from cars, careers, collections, or companionship. But we chase them in those places anyway. And when you read the Bible, you see this same longing woven throughout its pages. Scripture begins in a garden with two people, and it ends in a garden city. Why a city? Because it's filled with the people God invites to live with Him. The question that's kind of humming beneath that whole story is this: how do we get there? How do we get back to that garden? The Bible traces humanity's quest for peace, security, recognition, and love. And along the way, we see God's people fighting battles, but that doesn't get them there. We see them building bureaucracies, but that doesn't get them there. We see them building altars and temples, but even those don't get them there, back to the garden. And again, they're thwarted by the same foe, a foe that the Bible calls Babylon. Now, Babylon represents every empire, every system, every false promise that says, I can give you peace, security, recognition, and love. And you don't need God for it. Egypt said it. Babylon, the actual empire, said it. Persia said it. Greece said it. Rome, they all said it. What battles have you fought that didn't deliver? What bureaucracies have you trusted in that left you disappointed? What have you built that has left you feeling unfinished? What is your Babylon, the foe that keeps meeting you at every turn? And how do you overcome it? The biblical writers wrestle with this throughout the pages of Scripture, and eventually they arrive at one conclusion. It is the baby from Bethlehem who conquers the beast of Babylon and invites us to his banquet. It's the meal to come where the peace, security, recognition, and love that we all desire is on the menu. So what aroma is in the air for you? What ache do you carry? What appetizers have you tasted? What do you want for Christmas? What do you really want? Take delight in the Lord, and He will give you peace, security, recognition, love, the land, and the desires of your heart.
How I live for the moments where I'm still in your presence and all the noise dies down. Lord, speak to me now. You have all my attention. I will linger and listen. I can't miss a thing. Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper. Lord, I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. You're the fire in the morning, you're the cool in the evening, the breath in my soul, you're the life in my bones. There is no hesitation in your love and affection. It's the sweetest of all. Lord, I know my heart wants more of you. My heart wants something new, so I surrender all. All I want is to live within your love, be undone by who you are. My desire is to know you deeper. Lord, I will open up again, throw my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven. Touch from I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. Jesus, have your way in me now. I open up my heart to you. I open up my heart to you now. So do what only you can. Jesus, have your way in me now. my fears into the wind. I am desperate for a touch of heaven.
We hope you're enjoying TV Church, and we have a request for you. Would you consider hosting a group of friends in your home to watch TV Church together? You could serve snacks or have people bring elements of a meal to eat together. You could gather and watch live at 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on Way TV, or you could record it on TV and watch it together anytime. You could watch together from your computer at tvchurch.online anytime. You don't have to be some kind of expert. You just need to like people. And on top of that, you can invite people you like. People you like who are not part of a church family. We at TV Church would provide you suggested discussion questions, so you could watch together, discuss what you've seen, and then maybe eat together. Or you could snack as you watch. There will be no obligation to First Baptist Church of Huntsville. We produce TV Church, but you don't have to be a part of us to host this in your home. This is just an effort to take the church with a capital C where people are. You could be a part of someone's significant, holistic, eternal transformation right there in your home. Would you be willing to consider being a host? Email Pastor Travis at fbchsv.org. He will get you on the email list to receive discussion questions for the week. Would you consider that?